The next morning, I wrote a blog post. I'm sure most people who see me feel sorry for me at first. I think their first thought is probably something about how terrible it must be not to have arms. Maybe they imagine me helplessly being carried around by my mom everywhere in a giant baby backpack, and my poor parents having to brush my teeth and feed me through a tube and change my diapers and whatever. What a lot of people don't realize, though, is there are some fantastic things about not having arms. Seriously, I can think of 20 right now. Number one, no fist fighting. This is really a positive for other people because I would totally win in any fist fight. No, really, it would be a total smackdown. Two, no rough elbows. My mom has eczema, so I know what a curse rough elbows can be. Three, no need to clean my fingernails. You can add filing, polishing, and trimming to that as well. Four, no leaving fingerprints behind at a crime scene. Very helpful if I ever rob a bank. Five, no getting caught picking my nose. My shoes are usually in the way. Six, no arm wrestling. Seven, no golf. Well, I suppose I could figure out a way to play golf, but I'm so not going to because golf is so boring. Eight, no cheesy high fives. Nine, no making that silly okay circle shape with my fingers. 10, fewer areas to put sunscreen on and fewer areas to sunburn. This is a good thing for me because I have super fair skin. 11, I don't have to worry about accidentally using my hands in soccer. I guess that gives me an advantage. 12, no fighting over the armrest at the movies. Really, no fighting over the armrest anywhere. 13, no armpits. How can there be pits when there are no arms? They're more like flats. 14, I'll get the royal treatment when I start dabbing in a few years. That's right, it's a princess parking for this girl everywhere I go. And yes, I will be driving an actual car. Watch out, roads. 15, less money spent on jewelry, rings, bracelets, watches, etc. 16, no flappy flapjack arms when I get old. My great grandma has those. Hopefully she's not reading this. 17, no push-ups. 18, I never get that floppy numb arm thing in the middle of the night sleeping on my arms. My dad gets that just about every night. 19, no one's ever challenged me to a thumb war, which is good because I don't like war. 20, pranks that work. One day I'll pull a fantastic prank like pretending my arms got torn off in an elevator door or something. I looked forward to that. I stared at the screen. Who exactly was I trying to convince? The person who'd called me a freak yesterday, or myself? I hit publish and browsed through some of my previous posts. I noticed that Emily had commented on a lot of them, mostly short remarks like LOL or Miss you girl. Someone else had commented that I was in their art class at school, though they didn't say who they were. A couple of other people wrote that I made them laugh. That was nice. I was responding to one of Emily's comments when I heard a knock at the door. I let Connor in and we were playing video games while we waited for Zion to show. When we heard another knock, I jumped up and opened the door. Zion stood there, looking all shy as usual with his mom. She had the biggest smile I'd have ever seen. I just wanted to meet these new friends of Zion, she said. She looked like she might explode from happiness. I guess from her impression that she didn't meet a lot of his friends. I remembered what Zion had said about his parents being huge geeks as I took in her Wolverine tank top and purple shirt. I thought she looked pretty cool. Hi, I resisted the urge to stare at my own feet like Zion. I'm Avon. I turned and looked at Connor. That's Connor. Connor barked as he continued playing the game, totally ignoring us. I'm Zion's mom, she said. She wore a sparkly purple headband in her curly black hair. I wanted one of those sparkly purple headbands and the matching purple shirt. She looked at me with the eyes that were in the same exact deep browns as Zion's. What game are you guys playing? She asked. Just Mario Kart, I said. She glanced from Connor to me and back again, and for one terrifying moment I thought she was going to ask if she could play with us. Instead, she looked down at Zion. Well, have fun playing with your new friends, sweetie pie, she said and kissed him on the top of his head. Zion groaned a little. You can go now, Mom, he said, but not in a really mean way. She turned that beaming smile back on me. I'll be back in a few hours if that's okay. Okay, I said. When Zion shut the door, he sighed and said, I thought she would never leave, even though she'd only been standing there for about a minute. Hey, where'd your mom get her headband? I asked Zion. He looked at me like I was crazy. I don't know. We played a couple more races and then I led the two guys to the storage shed. Connor rummaged through the junk while Zion and I tried to read some old documents we found stacked in a giant heap in one corner. Periodically, Connor would hold something up for us, like an odd boot or a handkerchief, and say, "Check this out." Like whatever he was holding was interesting, when in fact it was not. Connor also found an entire box of books about tarantulas. "Cool," I said, dipping my toes into a box and shifting through the books. "Maybe you guys can carry this up to the apartment for me." While I browsed through one of the tarantula books, Zion continued moving the stacks of documents and boxes until he uncovered a large wooden desk, buried beneath all the stuff. Connor and I examined the desk with him. It had a row of drawers going down one side, but those were locked. "Where do you think the key is?" Zion asked. I shrugged. "This desk is probably like 50 years old. It could be anywhere. You know how to pry it open?" Zion shook his head. "It's so dusty in here." He coughed. "And my mom's going to be back soon." I sighed. "Yeah, I guess we can give up for today." "Wait, look," Connor said. He reached under the desk and pulled out an old guitar. It was pretty beaten up from neglect, and the strings were missing. On the back of it, in very small letters, someone had carved the initials A.B.C. "What do you think they stand for?" Connor asked. "The alphabet?" "No." I ran a toe over the carved letters. "Something, something, Kavanaugh."